Hello and welcome back to the second part of the doubleheader tonight for Sack to the Future 1971. No way it can top the previous game of the Bills and Giants, and hopefully no way the rest of the entire season we will see as many coaching mistakes or the biggest coaching blunder in the history of Sack to the Future so far. That we saw in the first game. But since these are my two favorite teams, of course, the Bears, my favorite, but the Broncos, my second favorite, if I had a second favorite team, we will see this matchup here in 1971. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Bears, but worst case, if the Bears lose, at least they are losing to the Broncos. So not a bad situation. Even better than that is both the Bears and Broncos won their first games. So both tied for first 1 week into the season. And there you see the Broncos getting ready on their sideline. Also, we're at the point in Sack to the Future. It's 1971, so gone are the hideous brown and mustard uniforms of the Broncos. Gone are the crazy, weirdly drawn horse thing. Here's Bobby Douglas, 12 of 16, 86 yards only in week one. One touchdown there, no interceptions. That was enough to win. But gone are all the ugly uniforms, and here are some good uniforms for the Broncos. The Bears, of course, don't know ugly. They always have great uniforms. There's a pitch out and a few yards for the running back. Here's the line: Jackson, Holloway, Cody, Cadill, and Wright. Don Shai, Cyril Pinder, the main running backs. Gordon Farmer, the receivers. And then, of course, they also have their tight end who had a pretty good game in week one, Bob Wallace. There's another handoff to Shai. Not much doing there. Let's meet some Bronco defenders. You got Jackson Smith, Costa, and Lyle Alzado. Forsberg in the middle, Myrtle and Washington, the outside linebackers. Charlie Greer and Sames, the safeties, Bill Thompson and Mitchell are the corners. Sames, of course, the former Buffalo Bills, part of the first game of this doubleheader. There's Bobby Douglas. I think he had a step on the outside. Douglas made the correct read, saw that Cecil Turner had beat his man by a step, but Douglas missed him with the pass, and so that will cause the Bears to punt. So in the opening game, the Bills suffered a horrendous rash of injuries. But here's Ramsey, 10 of 15, 103 yards. So both these teams won despite the quarterback not really doing much. The one thing that neither of these guys did was throw interceptions, though. Ramsey, neither a touchdown nor an interception. And Douglas did throw one touchdown without throwing an interception. So, name of the game here at 71 so far, just don't turn it over. Scholes, Jackson, Godke, Schnitker, and another guy, Gerke and Simmons, the receivers, Masters, the tight end, Little, the main person on offense for the Broncos, and tailback, running back. 2nd and 6. Fake to him, play action, fires downfield, completes. So Ramsey completes his first pass of the afternoon. This is an afternoon game, so just like a real life doubleheader, the morning game was the Bills and Giants, and the afternoon game is Broncos Bears. So you'll see across the score. You can see the score of that first game. If you don't want to go watch it, I would recommend watching it because it was amazing. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, since it's rather long, just watch like the last 15 minutes at least. I mean, the whole game was fun and entertaining, but the last 15 minutes is a must-watch, as you may never see things like that again. There's a handoff, nice blocking, and Little turns it into a big gain. 3 carries, 33 yards. The Broncos able to block up the Bears well on that one. Play action pass. Ramsey runs right into the charging Garganas for the Garganas for the sack. Play action fake. Ramsey was excited about it until he looked up and saw the linebacker bearing down on him. That's correct. I said bearing down for the Chicago Bears linebacker. A little bit of a juke move there. I'm just full of puns. Seals, Holman, and Obradovich. They're going to show me the 3-4. Butkus, Rowden's not going to play. Gunn and Doug Buffone. Then you got Smith and Moore, the safeties, Charlie Ford, and Joe Taylor, the corners. So the Bears, of course, like I believe every single team, or at least most teams, are playing the 4-3. But Madden. Oh no. Floyd Little is hurt, and that is the Broncos offense. He's by far the best player on the offense. And for the first time in 1971, there's an injury walking off the field without holding their wrist. So that leads me to believe it definitely is a leg injury. And as we discussed before, the fact that he's walking off the field probably means he's done for at least the game. Now we can report that, wait, what the hell is this? What are the Bears doing? Okay, so they hand it off, and the Broncos also confused, didn't know how to defend that, and Shai gets a big game. So that was creative from the Chicago Bears, and a way to get a first down. And then they jump, though.
False start, offense.
False start.
Let's go, boys, let's go.
This might have been a little... Starting to feel the tiredness, and it's only the first quarter, wondering if it was the best idea to turn this into a doubleheader, but it's too late to turn back now. We just got to hope that no coaches turn regulation games into overtime games for no reason, as we do not need an overtime game in the second part of the doubleheader. Oh, Douglas had the Broncos jumping but did not snap the ball in time, and then fires the ball inaccurately. Douglas 0 for 2 throwing the ball so far. And the Bears will punt again. So there is a return by number 11. Bobby Anderson, the fullback, returning that punt. First round pick of the Broncos in the last year's draft, the 1970 draft. Ramsey drops back. He's going to take off running across the 30, 35, gets a block, 40, 45, up near midfield. Butkus was chasing him, but luckily for Ramsey, it was anyone else that hit him rather than Dick Butkus. Ron Smith, the safety, of course, the one who put the hit on Ramsey. Broncos up to midfield now. And there is a blitz from that aforementioned Smith, the strong safety. And for the second straight play, Smith gets a hit on Ramsey. First one was a huge gain for the Broncos. This one, a nice loss. Second and 18 that brings up. So how is the Broncos' life going to be after Little? Well, there's a handoff to Anderson again. He was the first round pick a year ago in 1970, so they believed in him then. There's a fumble. Ramsey tries to take off running. He gets hit, fumbles the football, and the Bears pick it up. And Ramsey's hurt. Now, what is going on? The injuries were not this ridiculous in week 1, but week 2, well, just particularly today, the doubleheader I decided to bring you guys is full of injuries. Absolute destruction of the Bills and Broncos. Both, well, the Bills were already short O.J. Simpson, so their starter for the game earlier was Jones. He got hurt. Starting quarterback Dennis Shaw got hurt. Now the Broncos starting running back Little gets hurt, followed by their starting quarterback Ramsey getting hurt. So we've had a couple teams, a couple AFC versus NFC matchups, and in both games the AFC team is getting destroyed physically with the injury bug. But again, the Bills and Giants played to a tie. The Giants basically took a giant win and turned it into a tie. But nevertheless, the Bills got the tie despite suffering all those injuries. Broncos will try to do the same. Bears are going to line up for a 52-yard field goal. Kick is up, and that's just not long enough. There's only a couple of kickers in the league here in 71 that can make it from 52. So you need to get just a little bit closer. Looking deep for his first throw, and it's inaccurate, but Horn, Don Horn, comes out firing on his first pass after taking over, and now play action pass is going to throw again, and this one that was picked off by Smith. Did he get his second foot in bounds? I did not think he got his second foot in bounds, but they're calling it an interception, so the Bears will take that. Don Horn comes in, and his second pass, no, he did get both feet down. Nicely played by Smith, interception. Bears take over in great field position. So Ramsey fumbled and got hurt last drive. Horn, the new quarterback, comes in and throws an interception. And then Douglas overshoots his receiver, and that was almost picked. Douglas 0 for 4. Not a great start for the Bears quarterback. And now turn and fire a short one just to get a completion under his belt. 1 for 5, even though that was for -2 yards. And now Douglas is going to line up back there with nobody else back there. So all-out passing situation. Apparently Douglas is going to run right into the Denver Broncos. Washington will say thank you for the sack, sir. And that was just a pathetic display of offense from the Chicago Bears. In particular, quarterback Bobby Douglas. So the Bears have turned 2 turnovers on the Broncos' own side of the field and turned them into 0 points. So Don Horn, a disastrous first drive of 0 for 2 with an interception. He will come out and try to do better than that for his second drive. And there's a handoff to Anderson, and he gets a first down. Nice carry by the fullback. So the starting running back and starting quarterbacks are hurt for the Broncos. Their backup Horn hasn't completed a pass yet, and the fullback is now the tailback. Anderson, no gain on that one. There's a handoff. Nice block, Anderson, across midfield, across the 40, all the way down to the 36-yard line. Nice run for Anderson. 4 carries for 48 yards since Little went out with an injury. So Anderson filling in nicely. I mean, he was already the fullback, but now he is the feature back. And he has produced for sure. So the Broncos suffered 2 important injuries and turned the ball over twice in that first quarter, but come out of the first quarter tied at 0-0. So the Bears' failure to capitalize on some of those things might come back to hurt them. So the Broncos are on the move now. Handoff to Anderson, showing some strength, busting a couple tackles. 6 carries, 61 yards already. Anderson rising to the occasion. And now Horn will try to rise to the occasion. Nice throw, nice touch shown on that ball. And that's complete down to the 4-yard line, 18 yards. He found his tight end Masters. 1st and goal. The Bears need to tighten up here. There's a pitch out to Anderson, but the Bears come. The first guy was unable to bring him down, but held him long enough for Butkus to get there. And it's hard to get away from Butkus tackles. There's a handoff to the fullback, and he's in for the touchdown. The fullback is now Clem Turner, at least he was on that formation, as they have decided to move fullback Anderson back to the, tailback position. Or really, I mean, in 71, that is where the fullback plays sometimes, so... They put Clem Turner up closer to the quarterback, and Anderson moves back further away from the quarterback, but the running game still seems to be working without an issue as they put that into the end zone, and now the Bears trail 7-0. So judging strength of division, the Vikings and Chiefs are both loaded with talent, especially the Chiefs are loaded in both offense and defense. The Vikings are more defensive heavy. So I'm not sure if I give the edge to the Chiefs or not, but those are the 2 clear top teams. Then you got Lions and Raiders. The Raiders probably win that one. And Packers, it's the 70s now, it's not the 60s, so the Packers are pretty weak. Chargers also fairly weak. So I would say that the Broncos probably have the harder division because the Chargers are probably not as weak as the Packers, and the Raiders are better than the Lions. Chiefs and Vikings might be a wash, but the team that needs this win the most would probably be the Broncos to hang in that division. But of course I want the Bears to win every game, so we certainly don't want the Bears to lose just because the Broncos need it. See Anderson, of course, doing the punt returning also. There's a play action pass, first a fake throw and then a fake handoff, and then he comes back and throws downfield, but it's knocked out by safety man Smith again. Ron Smith has been all over the place for this Bears defense. Handoff to Anderson, just like Anderson's been all over the place on the Broncos offense and special teams. 3rd and 7 coming up. Wow. Horn fires, completes, first down. That's even more yardage. The total yards, let's see if they'll show it again. It was like 130 to 8. 159 to 8. The Broncos have 159 total yards. The Chicago Bears have 8. But luckily, it's only 7-0 so far. Anderson brings a bear with him up to the 39-yard line. 3-yard gain. There's a new person getting the ball. Lynch getting the ball. Again, Anderson can't carry it every time. Fran Lynch out of Hofstra gets the carry, and there's a deep pass. He couldn't come down with it, though. He went up and grabbed it, but then the hit jarred the ball loose. Jim Whalen unable to come down with it, the former Patriot. When I say former Patriot, I mean you've seen him in previous Sack to the Future games as a Patriot. So it would be ideal if we ever get a chance to finish the 1966 season, the four of us, and maybe in dream scenario we even go on to play the rest of the 60s and the 70 year, and then that would connect up to 71. We'll see. But we do have 60 through 65 have been complete. There are some footage of some 66 games out there, even though not the whole thing. And now we're in 71. And the way things are lining up with the amount of draft classes that have been done by other people, that I've been able to use for this project and adjust slightly, just a player or two here and there missed, but for the most part the draft classes have everybody you need in there to play for the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, from 1972 draft to the 1999 draft. They're all out there, or all out there but one maybe. I think they're all out there, but there's some sort of problem downloading one of them. So one draft class I may have to do completely, but the rest of them, all I have to do is double check, maybe create a player or two for each year, and then of course adjust the ratings to fit Sack to the Future ratings. But there is no reason why this Sack to the Future project cannot get through the 80s. So hopefully all of the 70s and 80s will be brought to you. And then by that point, who knows how old we'll all be. But God willing, we'll get some as well. And, you know, Maximum Football and Axis Football are continuing to improve. And they, right off the top, went full customization. So if they can continue to improve, you know, by the time we get through the 70s even, Madden might not even be the game that Sack to the Future is on anymore. But, again, with how it's set up now, there's things set up to have a lot of success for Sack to the Future's history. So I don't think, unless something great just comes along that is going to enhance it a lot, I think you'll see some Madden-based gameplay for Sack to the Future through the 80s at least, and probably through the 90s. See what happens in this alternate universe of football. And at some point, well, it's going to happen, I think. I don't know statistically what the chances are. I mean, this year, you know, in real life 71, the Cowboys play the Dolphins. So ratings-wise, they're two of the best teams, two of the five best teams. So the chances that the best rated team will win the Super Bowl or the Sack to the Future Bowl can't be that bad of a chance. So at some point we're going to have a real-life champion win the Sack to the Future champion and align the chances that we get the actual real-life Super Bowl, like the chance that both the Cowboys and Dolphins make it in 71 or any year, are less likely, but still, if I play enough seasons, probably get that to happen even once. We'll see. Or it can go just like the early 60s did, where not once did the real-life champion even make it into the Sack to the Future Bowl. Although I guess somebody that was in the, or maybe an AFL champion, I think did make it into the Super Bowl. So in a way, you could say that a real AFL champion won the AFC, but since Sack to the Future has always been combined for Sack to the Future Super Bowl, not two champions but just one, no real-life champion has ever been a Sack to the Future champion. You see Douglas taking a lot of hits, but he's still upright. He's still not injured, unlike the Broncos starting quarterback. So Douglas, 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. The Broncos have done nothing on offense, and Douglas, you can see why I called him a running back that plays quarterback in week 1, as he was pretty decently accurate in his first game, but more like the Bobby Douglas we remember here in week 2. Does complete that pass though. Again, you can live with his inaccuracy as long as he's not turning the ball over. And there is, he throws it up. That was did he come down with that? No. I thought that was a terrific catch. It was almost a terrific catch. But he was unable to come down with it, getting hit on the way down. Douglas comes up, fires to the sidelines, and that is also incomplete. 3rd and 10 now. The lefty, Bobby Douglas, drops back further, spins, and then throws it out of bounds. Douglas 5 of 17, having a rough time today. But again, no turnovers, which has kept the game close, 7-0. Bears will punt. And out comes Bobby Anderson, 11 carries, 64 yards on the day. And Don Horn in the relief effort. Drops back to pass. Spins himself. And then, okay, so these quarterbacks spinning around before throwing it is not increasing their accuracy, as you might imagine. Drops back, spins around again, but this time gets sacked, so I'm not sure. I guess that's just Madden's way of looking from the right side of the field to the left side of the field, instead of doing it like a normal human would. They spin around the other way to look at the other side of the field. Quick handoff and quick timeout. The Broncos trying to run some clock. Bears onto them. Call the timeout, and we'll give Douglas another chance to get points before the half. So Horn and Douglas trading incompletions and punting the ball back to each other. That was Gale Sayers, by the way. We haven't even talked about him. Gale Sayers has not been much of the Bears' offense for the first 6 quarters of 1971. He has been the punt return specialist, pretty much reduced to. I think he had 1 carry and 1 reception in week 1. Douglas going to run right into a Denver Broncos. 2nd and 13 now. Douglas throws, and too far to the right. 3rd and 13. Douglas takes the snap, throws underneath, that's complete. 7 of 20 now for Douglas, 92 yards. Not horrendous, just not very good. The Broncos not going to stop the clock. The Bears are going to be able to take it down to 3 seconds, punt the ball up in the air, and that will do it as it goes out of bounds. So that's the end of the first half. The Broncos lead the Bears here in Denver 7-0. The touchdown run by Anderson, the only scoring. You see the Bears leading in the air. Broncos all over the Bears in the running department. The Bears have forced the Broncos to turn it over twice, but turned it into 0 points, and so they still trail 7-0. Anderson on the kickoff return. He's been the kick returner, the punt returner, and the feature back since Little is hurt. There's Madden showing Little coming back onto the field, but of course that's not true as he is in the locker room. Hand off to Anderson. He gets a couple more yards. 66 yards on 13 carries. A very defensive game here in the afternoon affair. Anderson seemed to be slowed down on that play. I think he took a shot on the first down. He's still out there for third down, though. And they will give it to him, and great blocking. He gets across the 40. First down for the Broncos. 15 carries, 76 yards. For the fullback out of Colorado. The old Buffalo. Horn looking to the sidelines, but he throws it too wide. And Horn just 2 of 9 since coming in to replace the injured Ramsey. There's a broken tackle by Fran Lynch. His second carry of the day. And now the pitch to Lynch, and the Bears are all over that. Lynch loses about 5, and a 4th and 8. The Broncos will punt again. There you see the 49ers destroy the Bengals 51-7. 49ers off to a nice 2-0 start. The Chargers beat the Lions 16-13 on the last second field goal. The Vikings took out the Packers 30-16. So both the Packers and Lions are 0-2. The Vikings, the preseason favorite to win the division, are 1-1, and the Bears, if the score holds, will join them at 1-1. If they can come back, they'll remain in first place at 2-0. Douglas goes for the deep one, but misses. Bears have just 99 yards of offense. Douglas fires incomplete again. Douglas is throwing too much for the accuracy he's providing today. He's attempting too many throws. There's a nice throw to Shy, but short of the first down. Douglas hits 100 yards, but 23 attempts is too many. I mean, it's still a one-score game. I would like to see the Bears focus on running the ball before the Broncos make it a two-score game and they have to start throwing again. Anderson brings it up to the 38-yard line. The Bears defense has done well to keep them in this game, but how much can they hang on before they crack? Pitch out to Anderson. Bears are there again. Bears, whether it's real life or Sack to the Future, I guess. The Bears defense always has to carry the weight for the team. Rushing yards 150-25 in favor of the Broncos. There's play action pass. Horn's got all day. Fires deep and got his man. Horn had a couple years back there to scan the field, and then he delivers to Billy Masters for a huge gain. Both feet in bounds. And the Broncos now threatening to get into field goal position. 3 catches for 63 yards now for Masters. Horn back to pass. No, he's going to take off running. That's how Ramsey got hurt. but Horn able to pop up after getting 8 yards. You see the Broncos have run 29 times out of their 40 offensive plays. Heavy, but here's a play action pass. The last 4 have been dropbacks. One of those turned into a quarterback run, though. But Broncos content to run the ball until this drive, and then they decided to start throwing. There's a delayed handoff to Anderson, and Butkus, even though he was getting blocked, he was able to come off of that and make the tackle. Dick Butkus only 3 tackles. The Broncos have done a good job blocking him so far. Play action pass. Horn's got all day again and throws complete and inside the 10-yard line. Horn now 5 of 12. Less than 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 1st and goal for the Broncos. Hand off to Anderson, fighting his way down to the 3. Bears defense really has to tighten up here again. A lot of pressure on you when you're a Bears defender, as the offense doesn't do much ever. There's a handoff to Fran Lynch, and he's hit behind the line for a loss. Less than 6 minutes to go now in the third. The Broncos definitely taking time off the clock. Bears got to hold them to a field goal. And they will fake it, and Horn will step up and still looking. Now he tucks it and runs 5, turns it upfield, slides. He gave himself up. You got to go in head first if you want the touchdown. Because he slid feet first, he's not in the end zone. It's down at the 1-yard line. And so on one hand, you don't want to get an injury as you're the last quarterback standing for the Broncos, but on the other hand, when it's a difference of 4 points, I think the coach would have been okay with him going in with the shoulder and head and getting into the end zone. But it is what it is. They still get the 3 points, and they still have a healthy quarterback. So 10-0. Gale Sayers, despite only being a return man, decides not to return that. Maybe that's what the Bears need to do, is get Gale Sayers out here since their offense hasn't done anything. They do hand it off to Shy, not Sayers. They need to hand off in general, but if Shy's not going to get it done, then maybe we see if Gale Sayers can bring back some of the magic he had before the horrific injury last year. There's a broken tackle. Douglas delivers the pass, and it's caught short of the first down, but Farmer makes a nice broken tackle and turns it upfield for a gain of 9. 3:24 to go in the third. Broncos need points on this drive. Douglas turns, fakes it to Shy, fires deep downfield into a collection of Broncos defenders, asking a lot of his receiver on that one, and he could not do the almost impossible. Douglas now gets sacked. He tried to get rid of the ball, but Lyle Alzado got there too quick, and that might be the first sack. Is that the first sack of the game? That would be hard to believe. No, it's not, because Douglas ran into sacks. I think that's like the Broncos' third sack, but the first real one, the first 2 sacks were Douglas just running directly into a Bronco. And now he's going to get sacked again. Back-to-back sacks by the Broncos defense, and the Bears will have to punt again. The Broncos up to 6 sacks now, so it looks like they've had... that's back-to-back real sacks. I think they've had 3 real sacks and 3 sacks where Douglas was going to tuck it and run, but couldn't get to the line, so it counts as a sack. So Bobby Anderson, after returning the punt and getting tackled, comes off the sidelines to play fullback. All right, Broncos. Why not run the clock? Nope, they're going to throw. So, nice blitz pickup, and then Horn throws it away. Nicely picked up blitz, though. I don't know why the Broncos wouldn't just run as much as possible, because the Bears can't do anything on offense. So taking time off the clock is definitely the strategy here. But that pass to Masters works nice to get all the way down to the 38-yard line. Masters having a good game. 5 catches, 87 yards. There's a pitch out to Anderson. He had 2 blockers, but they both blocked the same guy. And that allows the Bears defender Jerry Moore to get in there and make the tackle. If it's a handoff, it's the last play. Nope, it's play action. Horn fires downfield. Oh, incomplete. Horn now 6 of 15. 3rd and 13. They're not in field goal range yet. Horn probably going to drop back. There he goes. And throw it to the side. And he jumped up to get it, but knocked away by the Bears' Bob Jeter. And the Broncos will have to punt. So the Bears will get the ball back late in the 3rd quarter, down by 10. Okay, at this point, the Bears just need to score a point, even if they're not thinking about... Speaking of scoring a point, the Raiders haven't scored a point either. Chiefs all over them, 27-0. Rams take a bigger lead against the Saints, now 24-7. Eagles and Falcons, the night game. Sorry, I tried to get a drink, and then, of course, for the 3rd consecutive play from the Bears offense, they allow Douglas to get sacked, and this time he drops the ball, sack fumble. But luckily, the Bears were able to recover it. So the Bears offense, as pathetic as possible, have now gone backwards on 3 straight plays to where they're back under 100 yards. And suddenly, Douglas has completed 10 passes and also been sacked 7 times. So almost as many sacks allowed as passes complete. Passing yards, it's close. Rushing yards, it's all Denver. Douglas waiting, fires downfield and incomplete, nicely covered. And the Bears will punt again. Bears trying to set a record for most punts in a game. I would say most punts in franchise history, but it's the Bears, so if this was like the 49ers or something, that's probably what would be happening, but it's the Bears, so. Just an average day for the Bears offense. 2nd and 7. A handoff to Anderson again. He cuts it back. And Buckus puts an end to that after 3 or 4 yards. 3rd and 5 coming up. It looks like the Broncos might run. Nope, they're going to throw. Horn drops back, fires toward the sidelines, overshoots his receiver. Horn only 6 of 17. The difference is he's not getting sacked all over the place. And also, as long as he doesn't throw an interception, if the Bears are going to win, they're going to have to score on defense, I think. If they could just get 1 scoring drive on offense, it would be nice. And they're only down with 2 scores, so 1 scoring drive. If they could just get even a field goal on this drive, the defense might be capable of getting a defensive touchdown and saving this game. There's a nice throw by Douglas to Mr. George Farmer, the one that had the nice broken tackle earlier, gets a nice jumping grab there. And the Bears are getting close to midfield now. And a play action pass, and all the Broncos come in to meet at the quarterback. Jackson's up to 2.5 sacks. Bobby Douglas has been sacked 8 times. Douglas rolls, fires, jump ball, knocked away. 3rd and 16. Douglas running for his life back there. They have to figure out how to stick around long enough. There's no way. There's just no way you can get an 18-yard pass off when the offensive line refuses to block. Douglas does get the ball out for a short gain. But at 4th and 12, they will punt again because 4th and 12 yards is just too much to try for it. They would like to at least get to like a 4th and 5 maybe. Maybe then they could go for it. 10.5 minutes to go. Bears defense basically needs to get a pick 6 or a fumble because something didn't ignite the team. If the Broncos don't turn it over anymore, I don't see how they lose to the Bears. Anderson, 22 carries, 88 yards. So the biggest question for Bronco fans, they're going to enjoy being up 2-0. I mean, you know, starting the season 2-0. But how much of an injury did Little suffer? Is he gone for just the rest of this game? Is he gone for another game or two? That's okay. Even if he misses the next 2 and they happen to lose those, they'd still be at 2-2 when he came back. But if he's gone for multiple months, then that's when the Broncos, you know, could turn this good feeling of starting off 2-0 to a horrible pit in your stomach feeling. But at least the good news is that Anderson has shown that he is capable. 22 carries, 88 yards. That's very solid. Horn needs to get a little bit better at throwing the ball. Douglas fires downfield. That's complete. And Douglas and Farmer starting to develop a connection of sorts if the line gives Douglas enough time to throw. Douglas will throw again. Looks like they're trying to set up a screen. And 2 Broncos were not fooled at all, so it wasn't much. 2nd and 9. Just over 7 minutes to go. Another screen set up. And again, 1 Bronco wasn't fooled. Shy, 5 catches out of the backfield. 3rd and 11. Got to get at least 6 yards here so they can, I mean, they got to go for a 4th down either way. But fires downfield and knocked away the receiver. Gordon actually became the defender. 4th and 11. This is pretty much the game. The Bears need points on this drive, which means they need to convert on 4th and 11. Douglas rolls, and now he's going to take off and run, try to get 11 yards running. What is he thinking? Wow. I thought he was rolling out and throwing it on the run maybe, but he thinks he's going to get 11 yards on the scramble, and he gets like 1. Nowhere near the yards he needed. Okay, Bears, no pressure. You just have to score on defense. Anderson, to be fair, Butkus was pushed back by a lineman earlier, so he was already moving backwards. But it's still, you got to give Anderson more confidence knowing that he was able to run into and push back Dick Butkus. He's up to 99 yards on 25 carries. 3rd and 1, the Bears really need to stop here. The time is down to 5 minutes. It is getting critical. Pitch out to Anderson, and beautifully done by the Chicago Bears. Corner Charlie Ford fighting off the blocker, setting the edge, and making the tackle. 3, the trifecta of perfect defensive play. And the Bears almost got what they needed. The Broncos punter had problems with the snap, but the Bears came up just short of trying to block it. Billy Van Heusen, trouble with the snap, but got the kickoff. It wasn't a beautiful punt, but what it was is it was a punt. So getting the punt off, not blocked, possibly saved the game. If the Bears block that, pick it up and return it for a touchdown, suddenly it's 10-7. It's a big difference than 10-0 with an offense that has done nothing all game. Douglas drops back, throws into the ground. Douglas, way too many passes. That was 36 for a game that was 7-0 for most of the game. The Bears had the wrong plan. Too much passing attempted. And now Douglas is kind of just throwing it into the ground on purpose. 4th and 9. This, I mean, I can't imagine the Bears coming back anyways, but if they don't get this, they definitely have no chance. Douglas is going to run for it again and slide. What? Of course. Wow. Douglas, I don't think he's going to get there anyways. Maybe he just thought to himself, you know what? I could take on 2 Broncos, shatter my shoulder, and probably still get stopped. Or I could just dive here, slide here, protect myself, but make sure there's no way of getting a first down. I don't know if that's what he was thinking, but I would have liked him to go and see if he could take on the 2 tacklers and perhaps get the first down. But he didn't. Pretty much gave the game away. Bears still trying on defense. The only question now is, will Anderson become a 100-yard runner, I guess. It's at 97 yards, 3rd and 10. Horn drops back to pass. It's going to be 2-minute warning either way, and he finds Masters open, so a brilliant play call. It's the difference in coaching. Broncos coach out-coaching the Bears coach, and both of them, of course, everyone who has ever coached anything, out-coaching the Giants coach, Alex Webster, who should be fired. And up to Anderson, I think he just hit 100 yards right there, and the Bears do call timeout. So the Bears could let this go, but I guess they're thinking 2 scores. If they can keep it to a field goal, they still have a chance in their world. Butkus and others tackle him short of the end zone. Broncos have the ball at the 3-yard line, up by 10. Bears have one more timeout, so there's no doubt you don't get cute here. You run the ball, you make sure the Bears take their last timeout. Pitch out to Anderson, or Anderson gets in for the touchdown, which he does. So either way, making it a 3-score game or getting rid of the Bears' final timeout. Both were great plays. They get the former, the touchdown. And so the Bears down by 16. This will make it a 3-point game. Yes, a 3-score game it is. Broncos 17, Bears nothing, with only 107 seconds left on the clock. And the Bears have just the 1 timeout. Okay, Gale Sayers, can you bring it back for a touchdown? He breaks 1 tackle, and that's it. 26-yard line. So out comes Bobby Douglas. He's thrown a ton of pass attempts for whatever reason, but now down by 3 scores, he obviously has to throw on this drive. And we'll see if he can add some stats at least, or maybe some points. Even a field goal would be nice to not get shut out. 17 of 38, 158 yards, no turnovers, so that's nice. Completion percentage under 50 though. 3rd and 13. And they'll fake the handoff. Fire towards the sidelines, beautifully covered. Bobby Douglas has thrown 40 times today. Only 12. So, I mean, this is all you need to know about the Bears throughout all of history, all of the active future seasons that we do. In week 1, he attempted 12 passes and they won. In week 2, he's attempted 40 plus passes and they're going to lose. So the Bears' secret to success is throwing a limited number of passes. And now Shy's hurt. So that's what you didn't need. Points would be nice, but you at least wanted to get out of this healthy. And Shy is hurt. Douglas fires downfield. That was almost, if not knocked down by number 54 of the Broncos. That could have been a touchdown, actually. It was Chip Myrtle that got there to knock it away. Douglas fires underneath and complete. Douglas 20 completions. Gale Sayers is out there, but they're not using him. Yeah, that's complete, and the Bears have no more timeouts. Will they get one more play off? They do. Last play, Douglas trying to get some points, fires it towards the sidelines, tipped, and almost interception. So, Douglas finishes at exactly 200 yards, under 50% though. It's just some garbage yards to get up to 200, but the Bears fail to score a point. The Bears fall to 1-1. The NFC North is 2-8. as the Vikings and Bears are both 1-1. The Lions and Packers are both 0-2. The AFC West, both the Chiefs and Broncos are 2-0. The Chargers beat the Lions, so they're 1-1. So yes, the Broncos needed to win more because they're in a harder division, but it's still annoying anytime the Bears lose. Anyways, thanks for watching the double header here on Sack to the Future. That will conclude 1971's Week 2. The next broadcast won't really be a broadcast. I'll just run a look at the stats at the end of Week 2. Take a look at the standings and maybe just the stat leaders real quick. Stat leaders don't matter as much through 2 weeks, but sort of like your newspaper. While you're waiting for Week 3 to start, have a quick look at some stats. And then we'll be back probably Monday, unless we squeeze something in on Saturday, with the start of Week 3. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far. Sack to the Future is back and healthier than ever. I don't know if that's true, but it's back at least. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.